Why hello everybody, Lego Dude 11 here, and today's a brand new TV show review, and today's video happens to be Rick and Morty Season 5 review. Now, this one is a little bit more mature. If you've never seen Rick and Morty before, I recommend it to you. If you're able to watch it, go ask your parents first, and ask your parents first. If you're in between that range, if you're not sure if you can watch it or not, go ask your parents. Get their permission first, and then go watch it. But excuse me, I love the entire show. And Season 5 as well. Starting out, I thought the premiere was great. Couple iffy episodes here and there throughout the season, but by the end, I think it's just a banger. When you get to the finale, and the payoff is huge, and I don't mean that I'm a nerd. I'll say that. I'll admit it. I'm a nerd for anything out there, but this in particular, there's so many references and callbacks in the show. I love shows that movies things in particular that have callbacks and the jokes as well. I talked with a coworker as well. I asked him if he watches Rick and Morty, and he's like, some of it, but the jokes just go over my head completely, and I don't know why. I think I understand all the jokes. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Either I have to ask my dad, but that's not bad, but I just feel like the show in particular is great in terms of callbacks, jokes, and animation. The animation is gorgeous. They've grown. The quality of the animation has grown over the years, and they've worked on it so nicely. The first season was fresh, but it's developed over the course of this show, and over the years it's just great. So with that out of the way, let me start out with my notes here. I took down some notes on the season and with different episodes. So before we get to the actual season itself, I do want to mention the soundtrack. As every review I've done, from WandaVision to here, I mentioned the soundtrack and everything. Ryan Elder, who does the score, does phenomenal. I love the action pieces he does for the different fighting combat and whatever. It just does a great job with the score there. The different songs in many of the episodes are fantastically written. I don't know what it is about it. Some of the slow songs, like the flower song in episode 3 with Planetina, and then you have the spaghetti song or the turkey song in the Thanksgiving episode, which is just completely bonkers but makes total sense when you have the lyrics, pregnant girls and pickup trucks, two things that Western people love. It's just hilarious to get that song, and the lyrics are great. So I want to mention the soundtrack right off the bat. I think that's a fantastic soundtrack by Ryan Elder, and it's not one I'll listen to every day, but it's something that needs to be recognized. So there you go. So let's continue from the first episode, which was the premiere. Probably one of my favorites. I mean, the finale was great as well, but I'll get back to that in a little bit. But the first episode with the Nimbus/Narnia plots, and if you don't know what I mean by Narnia, I'll explain. If you've never seen Narnia, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but don't know why it would be. I don't know why you would be watching this and not know what Narnia is if you've seen Rick and Morty. But at any rate, maybe you haven't seen Narnia prior to Rick and Morty. The Mr. Nimbus character was a riot in and of itself. I actually made a custom figure. If you missed that, I'll put up top my custom minifigure tutorial playlist where you can check out all my customs for Rick and Morty. Still actually happening, I think, as of this video. But in general, Mr. Nimbus's character, I think when they just premiered this episode, I fell in love with the whole thing, I am Mr. Nimbus, and just the whole thing going off of that. And then him, Morty, inside this universe where these dog-like creatures, or cow-like creatures, whatever you want to call them, with horns, inside of, them developing this civilization, and Morty having to deal with that, and then him coming back to get the wine from Mr. Nimbus, and then him dealing with Jessica as well. There's so many things going on in the episode I love about this premiere. It's so heartbreaking, the fact that he loses Jessica at the end as well, and him go, like because there's Mr. Nimbus going on, and then Morty has to deal with the civilization thing, and Rick's like, what is going on? Like, he's not understanding what's going on. I think it's one of my favorite things about the episode in and of itself, and all of it's great. I think by the end, like, I was just on the edge of my seat with the premiere. And then going forward, everything works about the episode. I don't have any much more to say. I think all of it works. I think that's one I would rewatch the most out of the season. So let's just go from there. I love everything that happened in the episode. I don't really want to discuss too much of it. Spoilers and, like, in-depth breakdown. That's not what I try to do with these reviews, if you understand what I mean. So everything I loved about that. The next episode was the decoy episode and the clone episode. If you remember in season 4, the end of it, they've mentioned before Clone Beth, and then they had Clone Beth in the season 4 finale. And that was a really unique way of introducing the clone characters and Beth's arc in a way. Like, oh, what's his name? I almost called him Greg. Rick created a different version of Beth who he sent into an outer space world, or sent into outer space to be in a galactic federation, to kind of like Star-Lord almost, but to just do space adventures. And this episode, the second episode of season 5, explored what if there were multiple versions of the Smith family, which was a neat, very unique and interesting episode in and of itself. But for, like, when I've talked to, like, my friends, watched YouTube videos, they've been, like, all confused. Because, like, wait, this is not Rick and Morty anymore. This is, like, just so many characters. And I think it's fun. I think whenever I get the chance to rewatch this episode, I think of, I just think of, like, characters, just so many different adaptations. I think of The Simpsons almost, when in that one episode, like, when they have various copies and versions of The Simpsons, like Lego versions, like the Lego version, the Minecraft version, anime version, Avatar, maybe not Avatar, like just different samurai versions of The Simpsons, and then incorporated that into Rick and Morty with this episode. That's kind of like what I thought of it as, and it was not my favorite episode of the season, but one of the most unique in terms of, hey, how can we make the Smith family look different? What ways can we make, like, the style of the Smith family look different? And it was unique. It was all over the place, but sometimes Rick and Morty is all over the place, and that's what you have to think about. Is not every episode is going to be either simplistic, easy to follow, and have the best storyline. You don't want to have to be negative on it, which many people have been, but you have to think about it as, okay, what are they trying to say? What are they trying to tell here? And if you don't follow it, that's your own problem. But, like, hey, have fun with it. And I had fun with it. So that's all I could say. I had fun with the whole show, but I think the decoy episode had something really special about it, and sharing all these different wacky versions of the Smith family was definitely one of them. So I like that episode a lot. Next episode was one of my favorites, higher than the decoy episode, which was the Planetina episode. I don't know, I'm not going to say the names of the episodes just because it's time consuming just to say them. But if you want to look them up for yourself, look up what the episodes are called, you can certainly do that. Just do a Google search, and it's not that hard. I could do that, but I don't want to take the time out of your day. So the Planetina episode was one that I think really interested me in the sense that Morty has a new relationship. Because after the first episode, he broke up, he lost his biggest love interest, who was Jessica, from 4 seasons of this show being on the air. And it's incredible. I mean, they wrote Jessica off, and now they brought in a new character called Planetina, a knockoff of Captain Planet. Captain Planet, I think that's his name. And yeah, it was really fun to see this superhero, like comic genre, like superhero, like these 4 teenagers using these powers of 4 different rings to bring together this character, this superhero. And then, like, you know, that was back in the 90s. Now they're older adults, and Morty's just like, what? And then he tries to steal the ring, or he does steal the rings, and goes all bonanza on all the characters, actually kills them, and then you think that he's evil in the sense, and then goes to live with Planetina, and wants to have a life together until she gets revenge on other people for not doing their like citizen work. Like she goes all crazy on these construction workers because they're not doing their job per se, and that's what she thinks. But Morty's like, no, they just don't want to give her the votes. So it's like, give me the votes, and she goes crazy, and then they kind of break up. Planetina leaves Morty, and that's how the episode ends. It's very heartbreaking, and I'm not saying you should be traumatized. Some people might have been traumatized from this episode. I'm not saying that you can't be sad. I thought it was sad. I think the episode was important for being symbolic to relationships, and I love when Rick and Morty does this. Goes deep and it's almost heartfelt, but it's really heartbreaking just to see this relationship grow, and how Morty can move on from Jessica to someone else and get heartbroken in the same exact half hour of an episode, or even 20 minutes. It's crazy, and it's interesting, and it's just one of my favorite things about the show and what they do. But that episode was great and really interesting plot line. Great to see Morty go all bananas on these guys, but other than that, it was really interesting. Next episode, my least favorite. Really interesting thought going on into this. If you've either seen this season, seen the episode, haven't seen the episode, I'm gonna not talk spoilers. Just, oh my god, this was the weirdest, inappropriate episode by far in the entire series. Drink break. Might have edited that out, don't know. But I don't know. So Morty Monsters is the thing I wrote down. I want to call them Morty Monsters. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, either go watch this show, don't watch it if you can't. Personally, I wanted to do this review no matter what. If I can't talk about it, I'm talking about it. So Morty creates these monsters that float around, and the monsters invade the city. And throughout the course of the episode, they get help from a samurai guy called Blazin. He dies from the monsters. And the reason I keep using quotes is because they're monsters, but they're actually something different that I don't want to specify what they really are. So yeah, and then there's the queen of the monsters is like even more evil, and then things happen, and then there's like these Rick and Morty get captured by these cannibalistic horses for some reason, and I said I don't want to say 1,000 times, and then oh my goodness, it's just all over the place. This episode is disgusting and hilarious at the same time, and the president's back in this episode, and they have to use an egg to defeat the monsters, and it's the egg goes to the monsters and creates a baby in space, which actually ends up happening in a different episode. So what I just said there was enough to talk about, but if you have no idea either what I'm talking about, know what I'm talking about, and can relate, type in the comments below, yeah, that was the worst episode. But let's move on to the next episode, because I'm done talking about that one. That was just beyond amazing. I actually made a custom of Blazin, so be sure to check that out in the card up there. The next episode was Hellraisers, and you might be wondering, oh, you said that one, but you didn't say what Morty Monsters were. But yeah, I'll say Hellraisers. There were Hellraisers and Bruce Chuckback is what I wrote down for the next episode, and that was quite fun. I love the idea of Rick just raising up demons straight from the land down under, and then Jerry, them having cringe on Jerry for singing karaoke, going bow bow, oh yeah. Doing that, as well as the B plot line, which was Rick and Morty and Summer having a friend called Bruce Chutback over in their house, and then taking the car into space and thinking it's like a Transformer type car, but nope, not really. Psych. And I love this episode. It actually was probably one of my favorites, better than the previous one that came out. So I like the storyline. I loved it. I loved the 90s aesthetic to it. Kind of like Ferris Bueller it's Day Off type vibe with, I think not Groundhog's Day. I forget what the other parody was in it. But other than that, I love the way that they had a friend over, trying to get his attention, trying to not be too cringy, and then Jerry's ultimate cringe. And I just love the way that they go to hell, the land down under, and try to rescue Jerry, which they do rescue Jerry, as a matter of fact, and all of it is fun. So based on that, that's my thoughts on that episode. Next one was the Thanksgiving special, and they get turned into turkeys this time, not Pickle Rick. I actually like this one, as some people were like, this one was really weird. What was up with the Thanksgiving episode? It wasn't my favorite, but in terms of like a storyline, it was fun. I don't know what I would rank this one with the decoy episode, because I feel like these have conflictions on each other, and like, I feel like these are the two weak ones of the episode. I feel like my least favorite is the Morty monsters, and then these two are above that, kind of like neck and neck, if you will, so we'll just go along with that, take that as you will, but I feel like this one, I love them turning into turkeys, just seeing them run around going gobble gobble was hilarious. As I mentioned, the turkey song was very funny. That was about it, I guess. Like, they had turkey fights. I forget what else they did. The turkey president was kind of bizarre. I love the one line in this episode, actually. That was where Rick says, "Go, go, Sanchez, the laser fists." Because if you remember, maybe you don't remember, in Season 3, he actually says, "Go, go, Sanchez, ski feet," or something along those lines. Like, he has skis on his shoes, ski shoes, I think. So that's a nice callback to something that he had, like gadgets on himself. But other than that, the episode, again, is not forgettable, just not so much to remember it from. But hey, I had fun with it. All I can say is I had fun with it, and to talk about it is a lot of fun. So going on to the next one is the Gotron episode, and I think this one was the one that many people were excited about, and it had a lot into it, honestly, because here's the thing I'm going to mention right now. They one of the things they tied in was the thing from the Morty Monster episode, which was crazy, but the space baby, and that in particular was crazy in and of itself, but even funnier that the baby actually saved the day from these anime characters, and they're anime characters in Rick and Morty, because Rick and Morty seems to do a lot of anime parodies, which I'm curious as to why they seem to do anime parodies when it's a parody of Back to the Future. But besides that, I don't know. They can do whatever they want. I have no issue with it. I've just never like gotten into anime. I'm not an anime fan, but regardless. So it was neat to see that these anime characters were the evil bad guys in the episode, and then the space baby saves the day from it, because Rick basically creates these, basically is like an anime episode with Godfather parody. Also, they have Rick takes like these Gotron ferrets, creates them into a robot, which is essentially like Voltron, which is just a crazy thing, and he has like 500 Gotrons on top of each other to make the ultimate Gotron robot. But then the anime characters try to take over Rick, but then the space baby saves the day from the anime characters and just blasts them into space with no air to breathe, and then they save the day. But I love the episode because it had like a Godfather parody, had anime characters, it had like Voltron in it with these suits. I actually made a Gotron figure of Rick. Be sure to check that out in the card up there as well. So everything about this episode made it fun, and just the callback with the space baby, I think, just made it epic. I don't know if that made it epic, but just a great episode itself. Rick and Morty even, or not Rick and Morty, Morty and Summer even had voiceovers, which in the end got shown to us as they were like voiceoverians and shot out of their heads. So neat stuff there. I love the episode much more than the other ones I mentioned, like the Thanksgiving one and the decoy one, but that one was very, very exciting and worth it. Now, episode number 8 was the Bird Person episode, and Rick has to go into Bird Person's mind. If you don't remember, the end of Season 4, Phoenix Person, who was the like cyberpunk bird of Bird Person, And in this episode, Rick has to go into Bird Person's consciousness and get like Bird Person outside of his mind so he can come back to the real world. And really fun episode. I have to say, I really dug it. Not my favorite of Rick and Morty, but my favorite in terms of storylines. And what I mean by that, like, this episode didn't have tons of jokes, but it had a few nuggets here and there. Squanchy came back as a character, and, you know, Bird Person's back, and they had, like, references to Rick's wife, Diane, dying, and, like, Morty, who Morty actually is. So this episode actually factors in quite a bit of plot line, if you think about it. And just great overall. I actually watched it again before the finale came out just to make sure like I'm not missing anything, just to kind of prepare myself. So it was great in that factor. I also love just the references, like you see callbacks to other episodes with Bird Person and like Bird Person's mind and all that. So, and also Bird Person has a kid. We see at the end in the end credits scene that it's a combination of Bird Person and Tammy just going all crazy on the like bug guys, like as you see in the end. I just love it. Also, I forgot to mention all the end credit scenes I do enjoy as well. I didn't want to go too in depth into that, but I love all the end credit scenes, like the space bugs giving AIDS, trying to give the cure to AIDS. The one where like they're like where Rick and Morty were on that planet, or Rick and Summer, if I can get the characters even right out of my mouth. Rick and Summer go to that planet to stop apocalypses, and then they at the end the characters are like, Mondays, am I right, or something, like Monday, like happy birthday by the way to his dad, or like whatever. It's crazy, but I love all the endings, and we're gonna get on to the two-part finale. Alright, so the two-part finale, part one was ditching Morty. And what I mean by that is Morty creates portal fluid, like pours Mountain Dew into the portal fluid. He actually gets some on his hand, and somebody else has it on his leg, and Rick ditches Morty, kicks him out for 2 crows. And this episode was really fascinating in my opinion. Just to see Morty team up with this guy in jail, break him out, and then just go on an adventure with him. And then he like, I don't know what he does to him at the end. Like, he throws his hand in the portal and just closes himself up. It was really weird. I have to watch that scene again now. But then Morty goes back to Rick, being like, "Hey, can we be partners again? Like, you just grew my hand back." And it's. But then he's like, "No, I have these crows that care for me." And then you see in the next episode, like, he's like this anime character with these crows. But I love the anime theme song. I think it's great. I love listening to it. But yeah, that episode, like, just the first part of the finale was great to see this breakup of Rick and Morty. And then that's it. That's what happens. But then the finale was even better than that. And what happened in the finale, I'm going to tell you right now. So there's going to be a bit of spoilers here. So if you have not seen the finale yet, that's the only thing you got to go watch. If you want to watch the whole season, go check out the whole season. If you've not seen the finale, go watch it now. But I'm going to talk spoilers from the finale right now. So this finale blew my mind. It's probably one of my favorite episodes. The first one and this one and the last 2 were just my favorites. I'm going to rewatch them so much. But I've been looking forward to the finale for so long, and it was my dream episode, because there's a few things in particular that I love. So again, I said they start out the episode with Rick and the 2 crows, and then they have this amazing anime theme. I'm not huge into anime, but I thought the theme was a nice way of doing the Rick and Morty theme into anime. Great job there. And then you see Morty, like a 40-year-old guy, but he actually just used a serum to make him grow older. And then Rick comes back to the house and he's like, "Wait, you guys aren't older?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just used a serum to make myself grow older." But then they have to go to the Citadel of Ricks to make Morty look like himself again. And then they have dinner with Evil Morty. If you remember Evil Morty back in Season 1 and Season 3, Evil Morty is now the president of the Citadel. And this is what I've been theorizing for so long. I was like, okay, we're going to have Evil Morty back in Season 5. And I'm like, I know what's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Excuse me, because in Season 1, he's in Season 1 and Season 3. He's not in Season 2 or Season 4. So they keep doing it odd numbers. So I tell you, Evil Morty might not be back in next season. He could be, I could be wrong, but he might be in Season 7. If that's their plan, they keep doing it every other season. I could be wrong, but then again, I've thought crazier. So anyway, so you see them having dinner with Evil Morty, and he explains his whole plan, like how Rick C-137 actually created the Citadel of Ricks. Not the whole population living amongst them, but him himself, the original Rick that we grew up with, actually created the Citadel of Ricks. Is like, what? And then Morty's just like, no, tell me the truth. You've lied to me. So it's crazy to find that out. It's crazy that Evil Morty's back. I was blown away. Then he puts on his iconic eye patches. He blows up all these Mortys, just kills them, and as you see him put on his eye patch, just Rick and Morty go out on a spaceship, push the accelerator together. There's even a sign that says, this has to accelerate with a partner. So Rick and Morty push it together. As they're doing that, the song For the Damaged Coda by Blonde Redhead plays. And I was even more blown away because I couldn't believe that they're playing the song that I thought was not going to happen. I thought, okay, they're done. They played this so many, but they played the song that Evil Morty has. Yes, and it was an even epic version than it was before. That made my day. So, like, this episode in and of itself is one of my favorites. The first one and this one just get a chef's kiss. The two-part finale was incredible as well. But yeah, the last one, and then you just see Evil Morty staring out into space, the glorious space, and then he shoots a yellow portal, steps through it. Don't know where he went, but maybe he'll be back someday. I'll be happy if he comes back. If he doesn't come back, I'll be really shocked. But I'm just excited for more Rick and Morty whenever that does come out. This season is supposedly will be available next February on HBO Max. So if you've not seen any of it, it will be streaming next year on February. I know that's a little wild, but if you can wait that long, if you're not able to watch it yet, I apologize. But this, all of it, it paid off. I tell you, the finale paid off. And if you just listen to my thoughts on the finale, so what? Who cares? If you were spoiled, you were warned. But overall, I think it was worth it. Some people, again, the Morty Monster episode was really weird. The Decoy episode was all over the place. The Thanksgiving one was alright, not my favorite, but I like the Thanksgiving episode. The Gotron one, the Bird Person one were nice. Hellraiser one was cool. Planetina one was really nice. And the first one, I'd give this one 4.5 stars out of 5, okay? 4.5 stars out of 5 if I'm rating the show. Season 4 had some misfires here and there, but I think overall they did their justice on their show, and they're doing just fine. I think they did it right with the ending here. Premiere and the season finale did just fine, did great, and I can't wait to see more next year. Let me know what you thought of this review and Season 5 of Rick and Morty. I thought I talked about just about what I wanted to say here. That was amazing. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be Shang-Chi. I plan to see the movie tomorrow as of this recording, and this review is actually coming out the week after the season's ended. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Actually, no. This came out after my Shang-Chi review, so don't know what I'm talking about. YouTube time travel, guys. Don't know how it works. I'm recording this before I see Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi review is coming out actually before this, so YouTube time travel. Oh my god. But don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy the review. Be sure to let me know if you've not seen Rick and Morty or have seen Rick and Morty, what you thought of the show, Season 5. Don't forget to hit that like button. Be sure to follow me at BobaFett Jedi Master on Instagram, links down below. Stay up to date on my reviews, other videos, and live streams coming soon. I actually plan to do a live stream of the Infinity Saga set. Maybe it's already happened. Don't know yet. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me, and as always, don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. Bye, everyone.